The Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, His Excellency Jose Avelino Betancourt, is already in Buea ahead of tomorrow's groundbreaking event, the Diamond Jubilee of the Catholic Women Association. The Senate at the Catholic University Institute of Buea, CUIP, has met for its 26th Senate. During today's meeting, they praised the quality of training and learning at the institution. Featuring this evening on our newscast, we throw light on the annual holiday job offered students by the Buea Council. How does this help the students? We find out in this news edition. Those were our headlines. The news in details in the minutes ahead. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on Tuesday's edition of Divine Mercy Prime. It is the 23rd day of July 2023. We begin the news right here in the Diocese of Buea, where there has been excitement as members of the Catholic Women Association across the national territory have expressed their happiness receiving the Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, His Grace Jose Avelino Betancourt. The nuncio reached Buea this evening ahead of the celebration of their Diamond Jubilee tomorrow. The Apostolic Nuncio was received at the Bishop's House in Small Sopo by the CWA women, as Joseph Otop tells us in the following report.
It is with these joyful Marian songs that the mothers of the church welcomed the Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, Archbishop Jose Avelino Betancourt, in preparation for the celebration of their 60th anniversary of the association. With peace planned, the CWA women danced with joy and excitement, remembering 60 years of God's grace and mercy on them, and also the privilege of the Pope's representative being the main celebrant of this milestone. Speaking to the women, His Grace Jose Avelino recognized and appreciated the works and efforts put in by the group.
Dear President of the CWA, all the members of CWA, I am very happy to be here today. And it is thanks to Bishop Michael Bibi and to the bishops of the ecclesiastical province that encouraged me to be here, and it is with great excitement and honor that I am amongst you. You are important. You are the heart of the church. You are the arms of the church. And now putting all of that together, that really is something. Huh? So our presence here as a representative of Pope Francis, the president of the bishops, is an important concrete sign of the importance role that you play in the church and in society. You greeted me with these beautiful green plants of peace, branches of peace. You sang all the way in that I was during the road, and there is a lot of good feeling here. And we come to celebrate your 60th anniversary, all the works that you have done, all the works that you are doing, and all the works that you will do. Yes. Thank you very much. Mother Mary, pray for us!
Meanwhile, the mothers of the church are happy receiving the Apostolic Nuncio for this once-in-a-lifetime event.
It's really a wonderful day that we have an opportunity to have the Apostolic Nuncio to be part of this wonderful celebration. It's been 60 years that this association was formed, and the women are so enthusiastic to celebrate this day. In short, their feelings has been raised with the presence of the nuncio to this particular occasion, and we know because we are not serving a dead God. We are serving a God that is alive. Through the intercession of our mother Mary, who is alive as well, it will be a wonderful day. It will be a wonderful celebration because we know He's already in control. So we thank God for the safe journey of the Nuncio to the Southwest Province, particularly to Buea, the Diocese of Buea.
The Catholic Women Association Cameroon members feel really, really, really blessed and privileged to receive and welcome the Nuncio here in our diocese, here in our province, here in Buea, the birthplace of CWA, to celebrate 60 years of CWA with us. It is an honor, it is a privilege, and we are humbled. And it is a sign of encouragement for us because, like he said, CWA is doing a lot of work and CWA has a lot of work to do.
All hopes are therefore high for a successful celebration.
As tomorrow approaches, the women have been engaged in various activities to make their Diamond Jubilee a memorable one. Our reporter Joseph Otop takes us to some of these activities carried out by the mothers of the church in the various dioceses. His report.
To serve and not to be served is the motto the Catholic Women Association across the national territory have been withholding since its inception, and activities carried out in prelude to the celebration of the Diamond Jubilee come July 24, 2024. From months to weeks, weeks to days, and now counting hours to minutes, these mothers of the church, through their activities like human investment, visit to hospitals and orphanages, are prepared to celebrate 60 years of withholding the virtues and principles of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the church, as well as practicing their objectives by helping members achieve spiritual renewal, translating into action by evangelization, building the domestic church, charitable activities, and modeling the lifestyle of the Blessed Mother. Doing these activities, they are happy and fulfilled being part of this celebration.
I feel very, very happy to be a member of the CWA and to take part of this human investment, because doing this, it helps us to make us to know that we are committed as mothers of CWA.
I'm so overwhelmed because this is my first time. I had the first scenario when it was 50. I attended the 50 in Bamenda. It was come and see, go and tell. So now it's the second phase that I'm facing. Because, it's a privilege for me to be part of this. The first time I was there when I just entered CWA, I went right to Bamenda. Now I'm part of it at 60. Just imagine 10 years difference. So I am so overwhelmed. It's like more than a Christmas to me because it is rare for people to even see this day. I have a lot for you people. Come and see, go and tell. On that day, we have so many activities that we're going to carry out.
Meanwhile, all is ready and set for the grand celebration.
We started with human investment that you saw us doing. We started last week Monday as a division, a Lady of Fatima division, Great Support / Sandpit. And today is Our Lady of Perpetual Help Zone, Great Support. So we are doing human investment. And then we have traditional dances, we have quiz that will be coming up in a few days to come or weeks, depending on how the diocese is going to schedule them.
Meanwhile, these children of Mary are happy engaging in this activity and are prepared for the D-Day.
On that D-Day, CWA, a woman, is an icon. It's an icon. We are expected to portray what Mary portrayed in her days and what her mama's virtues. Mama was humble, mama was peace-loving, mama was charitable, mama was prayerful, and above all, she pondered the death of her son in her heart. As a CWA mother, those are some of the virtues we have to carry on that day of that celebration.
With all hands on deck, it is safe to say that the Diamond Jubilee of the CWA women will be successful.
Meantime, the newly renovated grotto of the Blessed Virgin Mary has been blessed and dedicated by the Bishop of Boya, His Lordship Michael Bibi, Chief Shepherd of the Diocese of Boya. The blessing took place July 22, 2024 at the St. Anthony of Padua Parish, Boya Town, after a candlelight procession to the parish. This in prelude to the celebration of the Diamond Jubilee of the CWA women in Cameroon. Let us ride ahead with Joseph Otop once again.
In prelude to the 60th Diamond Jubilee celebration of the Catholic Women Association, come Wednesday, July 24, 2024, preparations continue to gain steam as the women across the national territory converged on the Boya grandstand this day for a candlelight procession. In the course of these march pasts, the mothers of the church, together with their prelate His Lordship Michael Bibi, processed to the St. Anthony of Padua Parish, Boya Town, where the seed was planted by Mami Anna Foncha in company of the Rosary Prayer. In the course of these come together, there was the unveiling of the renovated grotto of the Blessed Virgin Mary, in which it was blessed and dedicated by the prelate of the Diocese of Boya. The National Chaplain of the Catholic Women Association, Reverend Father Augustine Quine, gives the liturgical importance and significance of this blessing.
Actually, this is a monument in honor of the Blessed Virgin Mary. The Blessed Virgin Mary is the patron and model of the Catholic Women's Association of Cameroon. And so when they were celebrating the Golden Jubilee of the CWA, this monument was put up with the statue of the Virgin Mary to remember the work that these women, through the inspiration of the Blessed Virgin Mary, had done in the country for 50 years. Now we're celebrating the Diamond Jubilee of the CWA, which means that there are 60 years, so it's 10 additional years. After the inauguration, they noticed that it was falling a bit into disrepair and was not worthy of the Mother of God. So a project was taken up to renovate the monument and make it fit for the honor that is given to the Blessed Virgin Mary, and also in commemoration of the celebration of this Diamond Jubilee. So today was actually the blessing of this monument, which will continue to remind the Christians of the work that the Blessed Virgin Mary is doing in the church, and she has done in the CWA for the past 60 years.
Meanwhile, the national president says everything is ready and set for the grand celebration.
Really very happy and satisfied with the work that has been done. The grotto is really beautiful and shining. It is a big celebration. We have a very big pontifical high mass, which will be presided by the nuncio himself, the nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea. He will be here tomorrow to preside at that mass on Wednesday. There's so many activities that will happen during mass and after mass, and the rest of it will be celebration.
It is worthy to note that the celebration will see the presence of the Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea Archbishop Jose Avelino Betancourt, the Archbishop of the Metropolitan See of Bamenda, and the Chief Shepherd of the Diocese of Boya.
To something else now. In a concerted effort to strengthen unity among Christians in the Diocese of Boya, the Diocesan Coordinator of Ecumenism and Interreligious Dialogue, Reverend Father Aka Cletus, has embarked on a series of crucial meetings with deans of Moliko and Limbe deaneries. The priest had earlier met his peers of the Presbyterian and Baptist Church as well as the Imam of the Central Mosque of Boya, marking a pivotal effort made in fostering collaboration among denominations. Mayor Nade completes that story.
Continuing with his mission, the diocesan coordinator met with the deans of Moliko and Limbe deaneries. This meeting proved to be fruitful as the deans enthusiastically pledged their support toward enhancing unity among Christians in the area. This by cultivating mutual understanding and cooperation among diverse Christian communities aimed at promoting peace, harmony, and collective worship.
It's a wonderful idea when the Bible says in Psalm 133 verse 1 that how lovely, how pleasant it is when brothers and sisters dwell in unity. And this ecumenical nature and dialogue that we are going to embark in our diocese is actually that togetherness that the Bible talks about. So I think it's a wonderful idea, and Moliko Deanery will foster this unity and this togetherness and dialogue.
Is concerned, it is uniting Christian churches all over the world. And Christian churches, of course, we have the Anglicans, the Presbyterians, the Baptists, and why not the Pentecostals. But for interreligious dialogue, we don't only limit it to Christian churches, but also to other faith and religions like Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and so on.
They outlined various activities aimed at achieving this goal, highlighting plans for joint celebration during the upcoming solemnity of the Assumption. This initiative aimed at bringing together Catholic faithful with Christians from other denominations, promoting inclusivity and solidarity across the denominations.
This new initiative that is coming up strongly in our diocese, and with a very vibrant coordinator who has been put in place, I think that we are going to give a facelift. We are going to give a facelift to that Christian unity, that week of Christian unity. That's the first thing. I'm going to talk to my priests that they will do everything. I'm talking about the priests within the Moliko Deanery, to do everything to make sure that they support this week of Christian unity. Secondly, we are going to have meetings with the pastors, the different pastors in the different churches. We are going to make sure that in the course of the year or so, we organize prayer sessions even with the pastors too.
The Big Day Maria, we all know, is peculiar only to the Catholic Church. So on my own part, from my own office as parish priest and dean, I may go to the extent of maybe inviting the Presbyterians, especially the Presbyterian women, since 15 August is the celebration of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and even the Baptist women, to come and join us and celebrate our Mother Mary, to come and know the other side of our faith.
Looking ahead, the diocesan coordinator is set to engage the deans of the other 5 deaneries within the Diocese of Buea. As this collaborative effort continue to uphold, the diocesan coordinator of ecumenism and interreligious dialogue holds the promise of a more unified and cohesive Christian community in the Diocese of Buea, rooted in the spirit of dialogue and mutual respect.
In education, the 26th meeting of CUPE Senate have praised the various schools for their hard work and dedication towards training the learners. The Senate met to approve the second semester results for the 2023-2024 academic year, as well as evaluate the level of implementation of the resolutions of the 25th Senate meeting. Aloysius Leke reports.
The results of the 2023-2024 second semester examination of the Catholic University Institute of Buea (COIB) has been presented to and approved by the Senate as the institution sat for the 26th Senate meeting. These results were presented by the various deans and coordinators to the board, who after deliberations approved and appreciated the various schools for the brilliant results. Other top issues, such as the appraisal of the level of implementation of the major resolutions of the 25th meeting of the Senate, appraisal, amendments, and adoption of the minutes of the 25th meeting of the Senate that held on the 22nd of March 2023, as well as appraisal from the mentor university, the University of Buea. The president of COIB, Reverend Father Bartholomew Anyanwu, says the 26th meeting of Senate was a success as the level of progress of the various schools have been discussed and firm resolutions put forward.
Today we have had the 26th Senate of the Catholic University Institute of Buea, during which, together with our mentor university, the University of Buea, we've been able to examine the conditions of the second semester examinations and also to approve the results of this examination. I think that it has been a very fruitful and enriching deliberation which we've had so far. We've reflected at length on how to be of help to the students taking into consideration the peculiarity of CUIB, or to reach out to students who may be lagging behind for one reason or the other, so that they may move forward in their respective specializations. I think that in a nutshell it has been very, very enriching.
The deans of the School of Journalism and Communication in Agriculture and Natural Resources gives us a hint on their results presented, as well as appraisal of the 23rd Senate meeting.
The students are the ones that you see that study with enthusiasm and passion, because most of them have tried practicing in the field before coming to the classrooms. Even when you are teaching, the questions they ask, so the performance did not surprise anybody. And I think that generally the appraisal of the Senate meeting this year is so wonderful. You see, we keep on learning after each Senate. Anytime we do a thing, we realize how we can do it better.
As of results of the School of Agriculture, I think they were good, even though we still had some students who need to put up some seriousness. I think on the part of the lecturers, we have been trying our best, and based on the fact that we don't have many students, it's easy for us to actually follow the students or one-on-one to make sure that the students are on the right path. Generally, for the Senate results, I think with all schools, the results were generally good. There have been an improvement from last semester's results, and I think we are just going to improve on our learning ways, learning activities, try to make sure that we go so close to the students and make sure that we pick out their weak points and strengthen on that so that their future can be bright.
The deans and the coordinators, as well as the entire Senate, left the 20th meeting of the Senate with renewed ideas and energy to make CUIB to continuously remain a top-notch university with a difference.
Moving on, youth activities are in full gear at the Sacred Heart Parish Bumaka as the annual youth camp kicked off on Sunday, July 21, 2024. Starting with a football encounter, the camp aims at promoting unity and keeping the youth engaged during the holiday season while nurturing their talents. For 2 weeks, the youths will attend workshops, educative talks, singing competition designated to enrich their overall experience. Mayor Nadej was at the opening ceremony and brought back the following report.
Youths of Sacred Heart Parish Bumaka have joined other parishes in the Diocese of Boya in youth camp activities during this long holiday. The annual activity is aimed to bring together young people from one mission station, 7 youth groups and 12 small Christian communities to bond and learn from each other. Going by the curate of Sacred Heart Parish Bumaka, Reverend Father Cletus Aka, all is set for the youth camp. To him, this is an avenue to bring the youths together to be involved, to share love, commune with each other, and make the youth apostolate move forward.
The main aim is to gather the youths together. Since I was appointed to Bumaka last year, I discovered that the youths were lying fallow. They were just like a sheep without shepherd since Father Desmond left. So in order to bring them together, I decided to use games. And this year we are launching the games today, which will last up to the 15th of August.
Reverend Father Aka Cletus expatiates on the criteria put in place for this year's youth camp.
The criteria that I use this year is that you must have an SCC card. That also encourages SCC participation. If you don't have an SCC card, you will not participate. And you saw it at the beginning of the match. Everybody presented his or her SCC card, and that is a way to foster that small Christian community, that church in the neighborhood.
This year's youth camp will entail activities such as football matches, singing competition, debate between 8 quarters.
We have organized our youth rally, and the activities are football matches, football competition, singing competition, eating competition, We have a lot of activities which I'll just have to name a few.
Youth and some Christians who answered present during this youth camp, which began with a football match between quarter 4 and quarter 6, expressed their joy for being part.
Being the first day or the first game of the tournament, it was kind of interesting and challenging. At least there were no brutality and everything went well. We are hoping that maybe on the second day, we are going to correct our mistakes and maybe make a proper adjustment.
The youth camp that just started today is really good. It makes the children to come together, to react to themselves. They have just finished the first game that started, quarter 4 versus quarter 4 and quarter 6. It was good. I was there at the beginning and I took the shot. The first kick with the priest. It was really good.
It was a very, very interesting game, a very, very powerful one. And we wanted to actually win, but it's a football game. Nobody actually won, we drew.
It was an intense encounter on Sunday as both teams parted ways with 1 point each. The youth camp, which began on Sunday, July 21st, will run to the 15th of August to accord the young people sample time to exchange knowledge and idea that can impact their spirituality and deepen their knowledge on the doctrine of the Catholic Church.
Nadeshme reporting there. Now, some students on holiday have decided to make use of their strength and less busy schedules to earn some money through the job offered them by the Buea Council. While some engaged in the job to save up for part of their fees for the next academic year, others work hard so as to be able to support their parents in different financial necessities. Jamila Tutontan caught up with some of these students, talked to them and compiled the following report.
As the third term holiday is ongoing, some students from both secondary and university level of education in Buea have decided to make theirs a productive and meaningful one as they engaged in the community cleanup jobs offered them by the Municipal Council of Buea. These students are not sent out on duty on their own but have been assigned supervisors as they go out in groups to different locations.
Mayor thought it wise that for students to be quiet in these long holidays, at least it will lead them to various crimes or doing things that are not right. So he decided to employ them for 1 month, and when they finish, they will have something, even if small, not too bad, but to help them to start the school year.
The job will take place for 1 month, and I'm here to ensure that they do a good job to keep the community clean and stuff. We get to the office at 8, we take attendance, we come to the field to work. Maybe we can work for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. At times, when it's dry, we work for 4 hours. When it's raining, we can work for 2 hours, depending on the weather. But now it's a rainy season.
The job that has been ongoing for over a week now is going to be of great benefit to not just the students but equally the community of Buea at large.
I've been working for 1 week now, and we work from 8 to 3 p.m. We work from Mondays to Fridays. I think it helped my father in some of my needs, my school needs, since I'm a student of the University of Buea. Trying to help my parents, like with some expenses, even at home, it will help. So I'm working here because I need the money to assist my parents with my school fees, because like things are hard now. If all of us depend on our parents, we have to them to like gather the money for all of us to go. So it's better like I should at least look for something to keep myself busy than to sit idle. And yes, the money is going to help a lot because at least it will enable me to buy my clothes, maybe a new uniform, or maybe pay my school fees. Depends on the school that I'm going to. And yes, it will be very beneficiary to the people because now that it's raining season, the waters are blocked. Maybe the waters will be passing an entry to people's houses or even destroying other things. So the whole clean the waters like that will be able like to benefit them because the water will just the the rainy season will not affect anybody.
It is worth noting that this holiday job of a thing is almost becoming a routine motion in the southwest region of Cameroon, as it's been an unwavering steady activity organized by the Buea Council so as to keep students occupied while earning during these 3 months of holiday through a legitimate manner.
To news out of our national borders, the death toll of people killed in mudslides in a remote area in Ethiopia has risen to at least 157. This follows heavy rainfall as the victims try to rescue survivors of an earlier mudslide. And Secret Service Director in the USA has been criticized in worst terms for failures in Trump's threat response, the most recent in a series of security breaches by the agency, which has been under public scrutiny and investigation for years. Details of these and other stories making headlines across the globe have been compiled in the following report. Take a listen. Pregnant women and young children were among the victims of the mudslides in the Kencho Shasha Gozdi district of southern Ethiopia. According to officials in the area, the death toll rose from 55 late Monday to 157 on Tuesday as search operations continued in the area. Gofa Zone is the administrative area where the mudslides occurred. Most of the victims were buried in the mudslide on Monday morning as rescue workers searched the steep terrain for survivors of another mudslide the previous day. At least 5 people have been pulled alive from the mud. An official in Gofa, Marcus Melese, said many people remain unaccounted for among the group that was covered by mud while trying to rescue others. Worth mentioning is the fact that landslides are common during Ethiopia's rainy season, which started in July and is expected to last until mid-September. Elsewhere, Nigerian legislators on Monday launched a probe into the reported importation of polluted fuel into the nation in a bid to resolve disputes between Africa's wealthiest man Aliko Dangote's oil refinery and the regulatory body. The chairman, Ikenga Ugochinyere, revealed that the legislative committee conducting the probe is investigating allegations of the unregulated issuance of licenses and the purported lack of international standard laboratories associated with the contaminated products in Abuja. The president and CEO of Dangote Industries Limited, Aliko Dangote, defended his actions, stating if he knew the stakes ahead, his company would not have launched 31 projects. Nonetheless, the committee urged the parties in Nigeria's petroleum sector to reduce tensions that have been heightened in recent weeks by allegations from the regulator that Dangote was trying to mobilize the market and that his refinery's products are of poor quality. Dangote claimed that the mafia in the oil industry is more dangerous than the mafia involved in drugs. And in the U.S., Secret Service Director Kimberly Chittle admitted on Monday that her agency did not fulfill its duty to safeguard former President Donald Trump. Lawmakers from both major political parties criticized her during a heated congressional hearing, calling for her resignation due to security lapses that enabled a gunman to shoot at a campaign rally. Chittle said that the Secret Service's solemn mission is to protect the nation's leaders, adding that July 13th they failed. She then claimed the responsibility for any security lapse of her agency, highlighting full cooperation in ongoing investigations. Deeply regretting the assassination attempt on former U.S. President Donald Trump, the director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Chittle, labeled the incident as the Secret Service's biggest operational blunder in years. And that pulls the curtain on this edition of Divine Mercy Prime. But before we go, we remind you of our major stories. The Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, His Excellency Jose Avelino Betancourt, is already in Buea ahead of tomorrow's groundbreaking event, the Diamond Jubilee of the Catholic Women Association. The Senate at the Catholic University Institute of Buea, CUBE, has met for its 26th Senate. During today's meeting, they praised the quality of training and learning at the institution. During this newscast, we featured some holiday job offered to students by the Buea Council. How this helps the students, we found out in this edition of Divine Mercy Prime. Huge thanks for viewing. I have been Sama Eileen. Do stay tuned to more amazing programs coming up tonight on Divine Mercy Radio Television. I'll be here tomorrow for another edition of Divine Mercy Prime. God willing, stay blessed.